What is a foil that you are like really stoked to work?
I'm not really a big fan of like rainbow and crazy foil because I don't design my art that way. And believe it or not, they usually don't tell you that your art is meant for foil until it's after you're done. So, but I like it more of a subtle foil, just a basic foily.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's so nice to hear from you and see you. And Methane Studios on Instagram. Where can they buy your work?
You can go to our Etsy shop or methanestudios.com.
Awesome. Thanks.
It's time for another episode of Best of the Tour. This is the show that takes you behind the scenes of your favorite gig posters, tour merch, and the artists who bring it all to life. Let's start the show.
Welcome to episode number 17 of the Best of the Tour podcast. We are joined by a friend of the podcast, the illustrious, the one and only artist extraordinaire, Mr. Matt Leunig. Matt, welcome back to the pod.
Yeah, good to see you guys again.
Yeah, you were our first artist that we had on Best of the Tour. So it's kind of full circle, which I think is really awesome.
I'm very proud to be back. Thank you for having me back.
Well, if you are listening to the podcast and you follow us on all the socials, you know that about 2 weeks ago, we were down in Atlanta at the Atlanta Rock Poster Show that Matt puts on. This is the 5th year of the Atlanta Rock Poster Show.
Yeah, we had a little 2-year COVID gap, but this is the fifth one.
5th event. And, you know, Mike and I were there with Best of the Tour and Posters in Every Direction as vendors, but also we're collectors and we can't help ourselves.
One of us at least likes beer. And so it was at Sweetwater Brewing, which I had never been to. And so it was a little bit like I felt like a pilgrimage, right? Like a beer pilgrimage. And you get to see all of the artists live and in person. The booths were set up. Lots of portfolios to flip through, lots of opportunities to pick up some real gems and just kind of to see the artwork presented in that fashion. I don't know about you, Matt. I know you see it a lot more than we do, but it's really something because we're so used to showing up at a merch booth, right, at the show, you know, one poster for that night. And just the sea of artwork was something to kind of behold.
Yeah, I mean, for artists, it's kind of cool too, because you know we're used to working on something, and then it gets released, and then we shovel it away. It goes back into flat files or whatever. So when pulling out posters for the show, sometimes you forget you did one. You're like, oh wow, cool, and then it's rare that you get to kind of like see them all up together. And then also just like for me too, like I get super excited seeing all the other artists' work and pieces I've never seen before, and it's a lot of color, a lot of paper, was a lot of beer.
A lot of beer, a lot of people, a lot of posters.
A lot of people, lots of poster tubes.
What a showing. Like you talk about sort of hobbies and things that are very niche, right? It's like you've got concert goers and then probably subcategory of the folks that sort of collect posters in their mix. But when we show up for an event of the caliber of like a TRPS show, Atlanta Rock Poster Society show, it's like, wow, there's quite a few people. Some people drove down, I think I heard somebody say from as far as like Michigan or Wisconsin or that area. And I was just blown away.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of things that kind of came together really well for that show. I mean, this was the first year that it was free. Which was a big change. It used to be part of a bigger festival that had like a ticket admittance price. So having it free meant that just the casual people could come by. Also, I mean, even for the artists, like people who come into town have family or friends who didn't want to pay $50 to get in. And also it was no longer 21 plus. So we had like college kids, we had kids running around. It was a good day. And then it was a beautiful day. The brewery had a battle of the bands going on outside. So there was music. There was like kind of a shakedown street vending set up. So yeah, there was a lot that came together.
I think I felt like a kid in a candy store when we came in, and after, like you mentioned, everybody's setup is done and walls of poster and merch and t-shirts and pins and patches. honestly, like, I don't think I knew exactly the volume of what I was ready to expect as a collector. And oftentimes I think, we're interacting and buying a lot of our art online nowadays. So if it's an artist proof drop that we're picking up, or like the band put something up on their website and we want to pick something up, you kind of lose that tactile ability, like Mike said, to flip through these portfolios that you guys brought. I think I just, like I said, felt like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah. It was special. I mean, again, we've talked on both of the podcasts about sort of our fandom, but like, just as an example, like growing up around, the Dave Matthews Band scene and kind of seeing their artwork really start with Methane Studios, right? And then those guys are there in person and got to hang out and talk to Robert a little bit. And it's a very surreal experience, right? To just see some of these pieces that sold out at the venue, and they're hugely sought after by collectors, and then all of a sudden, just there it is in a portfolio or on the wall, and it's kind of like, holy crap, this is incredible. So if you're listening to this podcast, chances are you're into posters, right? You're like us. You got to get to one of these shows. I mean, Atlanta, I guess, is it about every February-ish, Matt? Is that about?
We were 2 weeks later than we were usually. We usually are kind of around Valentine's, but which is great because the weather's actually better a little bit later. But yeah, we do it every year. The big one, which is about double the size, is the San Francisco show, and that's always around October. End of October. But yeah, we usually try to keep the same schedule.
Okay. So there's an East Coast opportunity, a West Coast opportunity, wherever you are, you can jump in. And
then now there's a Denver opportunity too.
Oh, that's right. Is that the one that partners up with Further Frames too? And
they're in August, the end of August.
You guys are just trying to go coast to coast.
Franchising, baby.
That's right.
Do we have dates on that yet, Matt?
I believe that one is, I don't know if I think it's official. I don't know.
Okay. We don't want to make it if it's we'll get it out there when it is. We may happen to be in the Denver area at a point in time in August, so I was just curious whether it'll line up, but we'll take a look at it closer to that date.
So we talked a little bit about years of Atlanta Rock Poster past. I mean, you were there as the founder of having it in Atlanta, right? Bringing this essentially to your hometown.
Yeah, working with Trips.
And working with Trips. But also vending as an artist as well. So like from the artist's perspective, I mean, I know how busy it was and we didn't sell anything. Yeah. We were literally like, I've never seen that many people. I don't know what I expected, but it was packed. So we have a couple clips we'll show in a little bit from some of the artists that we did talk to about what being at the Atlanta Rock Poster Show means to them. But for you, I mean, what was it like just from the volume of people and from, you being able to share the artwork?
This was definitely the busiest year that we've had. We've had a couple in the past that were pretty slow. Unfortunately, one fell on like one of the coldest days of the year for an outdoor festival because it was a bigger festival. And then, sometimes it was a little live or die based off of who the bands were playing outside and the headliners and stuff. Cause that was the majority of the people who were buying tickets. So even when there was a lot of people, they weren't necessarily poster people. So the beauty of this show, it was like, those were all poster people and you could tell. But yeah, no, this was a great one. This was very busy. I mean, there's a number, like I was saying before, beautiful day. Obviously, we had Mark Spusta was there.
Yeah.
And he hadn't done a show on the East Coast, I think, aside from kind of his work with brewery in Delaware. He hadn't done a show in like 10 years on the East Coast. So there's a lot of people that wanted to come. And a lot of those people were the ones that were traveling to come see him.
Yeah.
There were people waiting out front in the beginning of the show really early in the morning. So yeah, it was very busy.
We pulled up and I mean, I think because there was the Battle of the Bands and that little flow down kind of shakedown street that was happening, at sort of at the same time, we pulled up and I was like, wow, there's people like literally already waiting outside, to come into the show. And then it was just nonstop. I mean, it was from 12 to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And it was
it flew by in a blink. It did not feel like it was, 6 or 8 hours that we were there. It felt like it just kind of went by.
Yeah.
Feel like it's for me.
Well, you were living and breathing it for weeks leading up to the event, right? And
yeah,
then managing it.
just those shows are always, it's like you're standing and talking, but you're exhausted at the end of the day. You're not really doing anything. But no, you know how it is. Like I was hosting along with like other, like with the trips people. So like also just making sure stuff was going well and like your brain is in a million different places. So I was like looking forward to the show, but part of me was looking forward to Monday even more.
Putting your feet up and being like,
just being like,
let me sit back and marinate on what happened. I think that also is, I mean, Mike and I, luckily, we had some time driving home and we talked about it the whole time, like the things that we were so excited about. I mean, for us as collectors to meet these artist heroes like yourself, to go and shake the hand of the guys and gals that we have their art on our wall, that was really, that in and of itself, whether we bought anything or not, but we bought a lot of stuff, but that was really cool to be able to say thank you for what you do, for creating the artwork. Keep doing it.
Yeah. And I think for me, like that part of seeing the community of it, right? Not just collector to collector, but like artist to artist, right? And like the picture at the end of the night where everybody gets together and it's sort of a like, we did it. And although everybody's in their own individual booths and trying to sort of manage things independently, there's also this sort of collective to it, right?
Yeah.
Like we're all in it together.
It's really cool for us too, in the sense that some of these people, collectors, or have become friends, or names that you recognize from buying from you for years, that you all of a sudden you're just like, oh shit, you're that guy. Okay, cool. Hey, good to see you. And like we're able to kind of do some sketches and like just chat. Mm-hmm. It really is just like the community. It's like it's a weird solitary profession where I'm sitting in, by myself most of the time. So like being able to talk shop to artist, to collector, to newbie, to whatever. I don't know. It's always fun. It's like a nice recharge for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, from my experience personally, and that's why I was so pumped to be at one of these in person. I mean, I've collected posters for years. I mean, we're going on like 20 years of this now for us, but it's always been, like you said, like online, order through the artist drop or at a show. COVID kicked things into high gear. It was like, well, not much to do. Let's see who's posting something on a Facebook forum. Yeah, I'll get into that. All right. I bring that up because if you are a collector listening and you've been kind of on the sidelines or ordering online or whatnot, again, get to one of these events in person, because I think it just takes it to that next level. It lets you see that, hey, there's a lot more people out there like me, number one, right? So you find your tribe, your people, but also, like Erica said, your artist heroes, these folks that you just wait with bated breath to see what they're doing next, or whether they're going to be doing a piece for your favorite band. Meet them in person, shake their hand, say thank you for all the incredible work. It's just such a cool vibe, such a cool event.
Yeah, man. That's the goal. Good vibes.
Color Haiku is back. Southern California's one-day marketplace for gig poster art, print culture, and the artists behind the work. This returns for its 4th year in a row, presented by Invisible Industries and hosted once again at GABA Gallery in the heart of Los Angeles. This is where the online obsession becomes real life. Go find top band posters for sale. You'll meet the artists who create the work face to face. Color Haiku brings together established voices and emerging artists from across the region and beyond. A community that shows up to support independent artists, creative culture. If you've ever felt that rush at a show, if you've ever chased a limited edition poster drop online, this is where it all comes together. It's one day only, so don't miss it. This is Color Haiku. Find the details at colorhaiku.com.
While we were there, Erica was live on the scene.
Yes.
Reporting like April O'Neil, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference incoming. Booth to booth. And we have some clips, right?
Yeah. So speaking of kind of that community that you were talking about, I was able to chat a little bit with Carolyn from Schnitzel Bear Studios. And actually, if you're watching us on video, she did create an official piece for the show, and I saw somebody who had a really cool idea to go ahead and sign off on the art. So I'm going to share her clip really quickly, and we'll just listen.
Hi,
in.
everyone. I am here with Carolyn from Schnitzel Bear Studios, and I'm asking her, what does it mean being here at the Atlanta Rock Poster Show?
Being here is like my dream networking situation, setting up shop next to some of my biggest poster heroes, meeting awesome enthusiasts like yourself, and just hanging out, being flooded with the most amazing art.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And what are you excited about for like 2026? What do you see coming up for you for the year?
I'm looking forward to mastering my new press that I just got and putting out some bigger runs with that, and hopefully just continuing to grow and expand my business.
That's amazing. Well, go follow Carolyn at Schnitzel Bear Studios on Instagram. Where can they find you to buy your work?
Schnitzelbear.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Erica.
Yeah.
All right, clip number 1, success.
Yes, we're trying some new technology over here. It was really awesome. I think what Carolyn said about this community. I know you feel it, Matt. We talked to several other artists who, when I asked a similar question, they all said the same thing. It's like seeing their artwork heroes as well, people who have inspired them over the years to get into the industry. And then, seeing artists go and shop at the other artists' booths, which was really cool too.
Yeah. Yeah, Carolyn's awesome. I met her for the first time. She did this show last year, and we got to hang out afterwards, and I don't know, she's the coolest. And she totally helped out this year big time. She volunteered to do kind of our portraits and stuff for our social media, and she's kind of jumped in full force. And yeah, she'll always have a table if she wants one.
That's really, really cool.
Another pro tip for the collectors, if you haven't been to one of these before and I want to give you a heads up on, is that there are limited edition posters made for the event that showed up. Again, I kind of came into this thing coming in hot. Wasn't sure of all that there would be, but was catching up with Marty from TRPS and saw that they had, through the Rock Poster Society, sort of a donation to the Rock Poster Society, got you a copy of the print. And I thought that was a really cool. I did donate and did get a copy, but wanted to just get your thoughts around that, Matt, and any background you have there. And then I know, you're a affiliate with the Rock Poster Society, and maybe share what that's like and how people out there can get involved to support TRPS. What a great organization it is.
I mean, so every year for the Atlanta show and the San Francisco show does the same thing. An artist does an official poster, and they'll have variants and all kinds of stuff, and we sell them at the show. But this year, because I'm in Atlanta, it was easier. So I'm kind of posting this year's TRPS poster through my site.
Oh, cool.
And all the sales go back directly to TRPS. Also, TRPS is, for those people that don't know, TRPS is the Rock Poster Society. And it's been this group that's been around for 25, 30 years out in San Francisco. And they're a nonprofit. And their main thing is aside from the shows, is they kind of collect, they're very specific to gig posters. So there's other poster shows. The thing about TRPS is their main thing, maybe because they started in the Bay, but they celebrate back from the 60s onward. So a lot of those old Grateful Dead, Fillmore, the original OG artists, they really celebrate them. And that's kind of what you'll see in the San Francisco shows. Yeah. But a lot of these guys are getting up there. A lot of them kind of got screwed over, their art and their rights and stuff over the years. So, some of them have health troubles, legal troubles. Some people have even today, more modern artists who have been affected by hurricanes or floods or something like that. TRPS always donates. So that's kind of what the money's going to. And the best way to kind of give to them, they have merch and stuff on their website, shirts and all the they do auctions, but just getting a membership, an annual membership, which is $25 or so. They put out a physical magazine newsletter. There you go.
I have one. I have a few actually that,
which is pretty rad. And I don't know, they're just the nicest people. They're all old poster heads. Everybody's great, and it's a great organization. I was lucky enough to be asked to be part of the board a couple of years ago, and that was kind of a big deal. Just because I've been doing the show since 2008 or 2007, and to kind of like be able to be a part of it in any way has been really great.
I think it's so important, like, to hear about the support that they're giving back to the artists and the communities in whatever time of need it might be, is an incredible facet, because I think, we all fall on those times here and again, and everybody's, in need of a hand, in need of help, and to have that sort of backbone of the community is just invaluable. And like you said, just such really cool and nice people. Like we got
good vibes,
Marty
good
down there.
vibes.
Just good vibes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what the title should be: Atlanta Good Vibes.
Atlanta Good Vibes.
All right, we got it.
That's the goal.
There are so many organizations, I think, that, philanthropic organizations that people can join, but like to be a member of the Rock Poster, if you are a collector, it's a very simple and easy thing. And what was really cool is part of us getting to connect with y'all and Marty and Trips. We talked about, I'm showing this and we'll probably try to get, a little visual on this. There are these annual true magazines. Like, it is like the old school tactile magazine, but they give the opportunity to artists to go and write pieces. This one's actually Grass Spot, Hannah Tatum. She's one of our East Coast artists over here out of Virginia. And, gives them a little bit of their history and an opportunity to tell their story. I love this. Marty told me there's a centerfold. That's what he called it. It's a centerfold.
Yeah.
But, if you, with your membership, you get mailed these pieces, which is really, really cool. And you get to learn about, history, past artists. There's something in here about Luke Martin, another one of our favorite artists that we've had on the podcast as well. So it's just really, really important. I think of it from like how we love to get the art. We want to keep the artists doing what they're doing. And so there are a few things that you can do as collectors. You can buy it at the merch tent, which, that's great and all. You can go directly to the artists and buy directly from you guys, because those go 100% to y'all as the artists. And then you can join Trips and help from kind of a larger bucket, so to speak.
And like Matt said, that's the simplest way. Support Trips through membership. It's as easy as going to trps.org. I'm obviously looking at this right now. And there's a drop-down menu. It goes support TRPS. You can join with a membership. And some of the membership benefits include the TRPS magazine or Trips magazine, collectible handbills from Trip shows, your very own membership card, which is... I'm sold right there, because anything with a membership card, if you're a child of the 80s like me, you were there for it. Like I had the G.I. Joe, I had the Ghostbusters, I missed my Blockbuster membership card.
I want to get them to do membership rings. That'd be rad.
That would be a decoder ring. We need somehow to decode something. Trips sticker, notifications about upcoming Trips events, dealer discounts, special offers, discount admittance to Trips shows, and much more. So check it out, trips.org, trps.org, and go to support Trips and join today.
Yes. Some of the additional items that we'll talk about, like what Mike and I picked up. If you're watching the video, you can see a handful.
Some of the things back here. We have some other things we're working on getting some frames.
But some of the things specifically for what we picked up from Matt's booth was really cool. We got this awesome pin that you had designed for the Rock Poster Show in Atlanta. This was a limited edition Trips
And I got
pin.
you the matching t-shirt.
I do. I have the matching t-shirt, which I love. I've already worn the heck out of that thing. Thank you for putting it on Comfort Colors, because you know our affinity for Comfort Colors. But it's cool because you could pick up all different things. This was like this really cool pin that you did with this little funky frog dude on a bottle cap. Toady. I love him. It's just really fun to see, what the artists have, because posters are so big. I got this from Derek over at Paragon Creative.
Nice.
Just like really fun, cool stuff. Oh, I love Andrew Sachs was our neighbor.
Some saxy
art patch.
Sweet.
Really freaking cool. And then y'all, there was a guy who was walking around.
This was really cool. This is part of that fan community. This is something, if you go,
you got one. Cool. Very cool.
Weekends away or what, he made a challenge coin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just was really cool. He was going around sharing it with all the artists and, partnered with this. So the artist is done by Brian Steely, who was at the event. And he worked with Brian to get permission to turn it into a coin. And it's just really cool seeing the unique things, again, not just the concert gig posters, but the other creative pieces that the artists brought with them as well.
Yeah. And that's the shout out to the fans, the fellow that made that challenge coin. That's going above and beyond. But I think like that to me is like a signal of like, hey, community, fans, bring it. Like the swag swap that you're used to, whether you go to a multi-night stand somewhere or an away weekend, like do the swag, bring the fan made swag, and then pass it out, give it away, give it to your favorite artist, give it to your friends that you make there, and bring some of that community vibe in. I think it was awesome.
People are down to trade stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was just so much fun, shaking hands with the people who came up to us at the booth who maybe weren't, maybe were like, oh, I didn't even know there was a podcast for people like us, And that was really fun.
Yeah, we got to even pick up that sort of experience of meeting some longtime listeners in person, which we hadn't, we've had it a few times, but it's still kind of surreal for me and I think for Erica. But like you said, Matt, meet people whose name you recognize from some interaction online somewhere. And then there they are. They're actually a real human. Like it's not just a robot or AI or anything. They're actual humans. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have been doing this a while now.
Yeah. So Posters in Every Direction, Mike and I started back in 2023. And we're just coming up. I guess this summer will be 1 year
for Best of the Tour.
And I think it's really amazing how the awareness sometimes is like, I didn't even know that you guys did this. Or there was a podcast years past that I know people had talked about and had an affinity for that was in the poster collecting space, but lost momentum, fizzled out or whatnot. We just do this because we're just like geeky art collectors that we love this kind of stuff. And we've really gotten lucky enough to be embraced really honestly from the artist community as well. For that to me is like, I'm still like, I'm not worthy. Like pinch me.
If you're like me and Erica, you love passing out stickers while attending concerts with friends, making new friends. Where do you get these stickers? Look no further than stickerrobot.com. They are renowned for the highest quality sticker printing on the planet, world famous, custom outdoor silkscreen sticker printing, free US shipping, and we have a promo for you. If you visit stickerrobot.com/invisible, you will receive 10% off your next high quality screen printed sticker order. So act fast.
Going right now.
Right now.
Right now. And also, thanks to our friends over at the Rock Poster Society. If you don't know TRPS, they are a nonprofit behind the world's longest-running rock poster collection shows. That includes the Festival of Rock Posters in San Francisco, which is a bucket list thing for Mike and I to go to. They have been championing the art of poster for decades. They support both the artists and those people who collect them and preserve them. If you want to get involved, go over to trps.org if you want to become a member and check out their upcoming events.
Check them out. It's so much fun, and to go to an event like the Atlanta Rock Poster Show and see the turnout. To me, it just like fills wind in my sails. It's like you hear so much of like the challenges with, the market and these events or
getting
this
posters,
or getting posters, or hey, we couldn't sell through this one, or we sold through this one too fast. There's always, sort of negative slants to things, right? And it's almost like you have to search for the positivity sometimes, but you go to an event like this, Atlanta Rock Poster Show, and I mean, nothing but positive vibes, nothing but positive experience. And it gives me like renewed, like hope and confidence that it's not a shrinking industry. It feels like it's a growing industry. It just feels like more and more people are coming out for this kind of thing. And there's a lot of opportunity for awesome things in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see more poster shows pop up kind of in different regions. And that's kind of the fun thing is like, talking to other artists who came down for Atlanta who are just like, man, I want to start one of these and, enter city name, Chicago, Milwaukee, wherever.
Yeah.
And and you kind of get, the regional artists there to come. And that was kind of the beauty for me. It was like, I always did this West Coast show, and now I have introduced to this new swath of East Coast artists, and I've been able to do shows in Texas and Chicago, and then you see that crew over there and the Texas crew, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I thought was really, really cool, because again, we see it very rarely in the gig poster spaces, like when we're at a show, but it's happened a few times, is the collab pieces. So like having multiple artists collab on a piece of art. We've seen it in the past with Todd Slater and
Ben Kwok.
Ben Kwok had done one for the Dave Matthews Band. Jim Mazza did one with Dave Klock. For Goose and Conscious Alliance. And at the Rock Poster Show, we saw Justin and from Status Serigraph and Mark Spusta do their own collab that was specific for the Rock Poster Show in Atlanta as well.
Yeah, that one was beautiful. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was really neat. And what was even cooler so let me tell you a little story. We saw it. We knew it was there. We knew that Mark had his variant. He did like a gold paper variant.
Yeah.
And then Justin had one. He had a regular. They both had regulars, and then their variant. And Justin had a swirl foil.
I think
it
right,
was.
yeah.
So, Mike and I were like, well, we need one. So as I was wandering around, I went, unbeknownst to him. Well, maybe I said, let me see if I can get one, because the lines were really long at everybody's booth.
It was very busy. There was a lot going on. There's a sensory overload thing happening to me as you were going off, you were interviewing people, and
And then I came back. So I luckily grabbed one from Justin. I got the foil and came back to the booth, and Mike had moved on to do something else. And then he was going over and seeing if he could pick anything up after like the rush at Mark Spusta's booth. And came back, and he was like, well, I got some stuff from Spusta, but I also got his variant too.
Nice.
I went over, I guess this gets into our sort of like, hey, these are our kind of
some
like
of our pickups.
So one of the things that Spusta will do is t-shirts, right? I mean, and they're kind of these little, characters that he does. I've never had one of these. I've seen people with them. Erica has one. And part of the issue is on Mark's website, sizes for me, I'm part of the slenderly challenged group, as I like to say. Our sizes seem to sell out pretty quickly, and by that I mean the XX or XXX. And so there might be an image that I would wear that. That's cool, and all that's left is like an extra small. So my options are just like, you get it and cut it out and try to like put it on a t-shirt of my own or something, right? Or find one in my size. So my mission was, I'm going to meet Mark. I'm going to say hello, but I'd like to see if there's a t-shirt that he has in my size. And so he had sort of a line of folks, and so I didn't want to interrupt things, but the guy that he had who was a buddy of his, I think his name was Josh, who was working the booth with him, let me go and look at the t-shirts. So I found one. And then he said, you looking for anything else? And I was like, well, I'm a big fan of the band called Goose, and I know Mark's done a couple pieces. And I was like, I saw one earlier hanging that I needed. I think it's sold because it's not up there anymore. And he was nice enough to say, why don't you go check that portfolio right over there? And I was like, really? He said, yeah, come on. So I go and I flip through, and sure enough, I'm like 20 pages in, and there was the one Goose print that has been elusive to me that I really, it's Mark's piece. It's sort of this Buddhist meditating frog with all these little looking like spheres in the air. And
they're all little tadpoles.
They're all little tadpoles. And so I had this moment. And so this is my message to the collectors. There is an absolute Christmas morning moment waiting for you at the Atlanta Rock Poster Show or on the West Coast or Hanukkah morning or Kwanzaa morning, whatever you may celebrate, whatever mystical holiday you celebrate where there's a surprise element, right? Or the best birthday present you ever got. Because flipping that page and seeing one of my kind of poster chaser grails was an experience that like is imprinted on me forever. So now I'm in the heat of that moment. I've got a t-shirt. I'm getting this poster. I'm like, I don't want anything creased or bent, and I'm being very careful. And then I'm checking out, and right there next to it is the show edition of the poster that he did with Justin, and it's the gold. And in my mind, I had not either recalled or learned that Erica had already picked it up.
It happens.
So I was like, yeah, throw one of those on there too. Let's go. I'm already in the mode of buying. And so, yeah, we might have ended up with two of that print in different papers.
That's totally different art.
Right.
Well, these shows are the type of places you'll find the rare stuff, just because like a lot of times selling rare or sold out prints can kind of be a pain to do online, just throwing one up. And then, so in person is just like, I brought it here. Whoever gets it first, just take.
Right. There's not going to be a trail of like complaints coming.
No.
Yeah. So a lot of the live shows, like that's like when the artists bring their good, like the old stuff or the sold out stuff, or they'll embellish stuff.
Yeah, it was really cool. So we recently had on Nathaniel Days from Bourbon Sunday, and one of the pieces Mike and I talked about is actually sitting behind me. It's one of the 311 pieces that he did, this like really cool alien, three-eyed alien dude.
Nice.
And, you know, that was one that same thing. Mike was like, I don't collect 311 prints, but for some reason I have to have this 311 print.
And that's to our listeners. There's no knock there. It's just I've never had the chance to see 311 live.
Yep.
And so my kind of personal rule is I don't buy posters until I see the band live. This one I had to catch up on though, because I've got an affinity for aliens and I've got an affinity for poker, and this has all these little poker card references in it too. And I think Nathaniel knew that from when we talked before about this, and he saw me coming, and then
he was like, "Hey,
check this one out, put it out there." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need to bring that one home with me." So again, it's just another, you know, that collector moment to walk up and see a piece that you've seen online, but then you see it live and in person.
Yeah, his stuff is so amazing too. It's like he keeps getting better every year, adding more and more detail, and you can really see it in the newer pieces, and like seeing that stuff up front, like just the amount of speckling and detailing. He's amazing.
Well, he's one of the artists that I did get to catch up with. So let's go take a look at his clip as well and hear what Nathaniel had to say.
That was a pretty good segue to get to that clip.
That was very good.
I didn't even plan it.
Maybe unintentional.
Let's see here. We got to find him over here. Here's Nathaniel.
I am here with Nathaniel Days. Hello, Nathaniel.
Howdy.
You might recognize him from the most recent episode of Best of the Tour podcast. We're here at the Atlanta Rock Poster Show, and I wanted to ask Nathaniel what it means to him to be here and to be vending here.
It means everything. I'm right next to several of my heroes here, and just to see everybody being excited about what we do for a living, it means so much.
That's awesome. And tell me like something that you're like really excited about for 2026.
Excited about new work, new techniques, and just getting more work out there into the world.
Awesome. Don't forget to go follow Nathaniel Bourbon Sunday on Instagram. And where can they buy your work?
Big Cartel, bourbonsunday.bigcartel.com.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing what's coming up this year.
All right, thanks so
Good to
much.
see ya.
I'm surprised you guys were able to find a quiet area to.
I got new microphones. So that was the inaugural microphone testing grounds, which I'm really shocked. They work really, really well. So if you're looking for some cute little, they were like real cute too. We were walking around and be like, talking my tiny little microphone.
I know. This is not as intimidating as like the Bob Barker microphone, which that was my vote, the long skinny one, but we ended up with short fat ones instead.
But that was, you know, really cool to be able to talk to Nathaniel, meet him in person. You know, again, we've been collecting artwork. There's actually one of the dragon ones that was one of my first pieces that I picked from him several years ago on an AP drop that I saw pop up one day. And I was like, yeah, I have to have that dragon. Like, just, it was, you know, it was one of those things.
Yeah.
But
lots of Easter eggs.
A lot of Easter eggs in that one if you're a collector. But it was just really wonderful.
And I loved what he said too, which is what we heard sort of, I think, time and time. I mean, from us, but like from each of the artists talking about, y'all are each other's heroes as well. Like you said, you're working in your studio. You're kind of laser focused on whatever the project is. But I know there's a lot of admiration across the community, artist to artist. And one of the questions, we ask folks as we interview them is just like, what have you seen lately from a fellow artist that kind of blows your mind? And we get great answers, which indicates to me that, artists are artists, but they're also fans too, right? They're fans of other artists. And I think that's such a cool aspect.
Yeah. I mean, that happened to me. It still happens to me. But like when I first started doing the trip shows, I mean, that there was like Emick, there was Wes Wilson from like the 60s. You're like, holy shit. Like in our show, like Jeff Wood is there, and like people who you kind of have grown up looking at their artwork. But yeah, no, it's like, I think Nathaniel had said he had never done a show before the Atlanta show, which was crazy because his stuff is so good, but just some people don't jump into the traveling circuit or the poster show circuit. So yeah, I'm glad we were able to get him there, and I don't know, it's a good crew.
You guys had what you mentioned before, sort of like the young and the old, right? Like the guys and gals who've been doing it for a long time, but then some young artists like Chelsea Housand, who is, relatively new on the poster scene, really since like 2020, 2021. And she's also won. I have a little video of her as well.
Another segue.
I don't know how I'm doing this.
This is like riffing, but segues are working. I love it. It's
magical. But wanted to talk a little bit with Chelsea because, again, she's really honing her craft as well. So let's take a listen to see what Chelsea had to say.
Hi, everyone. I'm here with Chelsea Houston from Houston Arts. You might recognize her from the podcast a couple episodes back. And I wanted to ask Chelsea a little bit about what being at the Rock Poster Society show means to her.
I am so excited to be here. It is so nice to meet everyone face to face. As an artist, we are often all alone in our studios. So getting to connect with people who understand that and get to see faces, it's amazing. And I'm so happy to see everyone.
Well, it's really awesome to be able to be here and to give you a hug and say hello and see her beautiful artwork. So if you're in the Atlanta area, come stop by. We're here till 7:00.
Yep.
And check out the podcast for Chelsea's episode, and then also follow her on the socials to see what's coming up in 2026.
We got some good stuff.
So excited.
I don't know about you, Matt, but I hear that and I'm like, wow, there's this running theme, this dynamic of like getting the artists out there, like physically, right? It's like, hey, I'm out of my studio. This is exciting to be a part of this and sharing that. And I think that's a really kind of neat byproduct of the shows.
I mean, I've done shows where, the sales haven't been great or things have been slow or what, but at the end of the day, it's just like a big hang. And that's kind of what you want, is just like to talk shop with similar minded people and I don't know, have a weekend away from being underground in the studio or wherever.
That's right. So every artist listening out there, artists participate in the shows. It's good to get out, get some vitamin D and
get some fresh air,
rub some elbows with the peoples. It's a good thing.
I mean, and it always leads to, not always, but like it leads to fun other opportunities, whether it be collabs with artists down the line, or you meet people who like are managers or represent bands and just like go to that show and you get gigs out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. We want to see more art, more fun, more unique things from the artist community. And I think one of the other things that I heard kind of very regularly through the conversations was like the inspiration, like you guys walking up, like we're walking and we're like, want it, need it, want it, got it, bought it. But I think from the artist, I remember a little bit sort of a sidebar with Chelsea, she was like walking around, she'd be like, this is really jacking me up. Like I want to up my game. Like I really, I'm so inspired.
I heard that. And I heard people talking about like Nathaniel, like, hey, excited to share new techniques.
Yeah.
So I hadn't realized it, but it seems like almost this learning opportunity there as well. And
you can get real nerdy.
Yeah.
You can get real specific.
I believe it.
Micro
and
pens
I think everybody benefits from that, right? It's from the artists to the bands who are putting these things on or having their merch sold to the collector community that, hey, there's just a win-win-win. Everybody's going to benefit from it.
I don't think there was a medium that we didn't pick up at this show, meaning like, we got paper, we got some
wearable
cloth,
merch,
some wearable
patches,
merch, some patches, some pins, some metal, stickers, you know,
a Trips magazine with a centerfold.
Right.
Amazing. I mean, really, there's something nostalgic for me about that, hey, Trips still puts a physical print out there. I love it. Again, go support Trips if you're listening.
Yes.
Yeah, they just kind of redid their magazine too. I think that might be the second in that new kind of bigger format too.
Yeah.
It's early, Matt, probably to discuss, but what's next for the Atlanta Rock Poster Show? Anything that you can share? I mean, are we greenlit for 27? Do we have any kind of inkling or?
I mean, based off of, I haven't thought about it to tell the truth, but like based off of conversations I've had, like Sweetwater was very happy.
Mm-hmm.
They were, inundated and their brewery tap room downstairs was swamped. And I think this new model of it being free, and kind of having like fun stuff outside. The Battle of the Bands thing really drew a lot of people into. I think we're go. We haven't talked dates or anything like that, but they've been a really cool partner because that's their whole vibe too. Is like everything's tie dye. They put on the 420 Fest, which is the big jam band scene down there. So everybody that works there is like really into that. They've had Jeff Wood and different artists do stuff for them in the past. So they've been kind of the perfect partner. So I haven't started thinking about it, but all signs point to yes. And, probably around the same time. And as soon as we kind of start kind of pulling that thing together, we'll have more to talk about.
All right.
That'd be awesome. One of the things that I thought was unique, given that it was free, but you had a lot of other things going on with it, is I would say the first 75% of the show, of the time of the show, were people who were coming in who were collectors. You got your poster tubes. They knew what they were looking for. They were here to either see a specific artist or just come and see, what they could pick up to add to their collection. But like really that last hour and a half, I had a lot of people who were like, what is this place?
Yeah.
I think because downstairs was so busy that upstairs was like the super secret bar. And, you could come up and not have a crazy deep line for beer. But then I think also people started walking by. And I remember meeting this girl who came in. She was like, no, we're here for the Battle of the Bands. And then I remember seeing a photo on Tom Shaw's Instagram, and it was the girl. And I was like, she wasn't here for the poster show, but she bought a piece of work, which I just thought was really cool. It's this reverse initiation into the culture of the gig poster culture, where somebody
poster curious.
Poster curious.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm hoping that young lady who did buy a piece of artwork kind of feels an affinity now for the culture and what we were doing, trying to put across upstairs, which is really freaking cool.
Yeah. I mean, we're always trying to grow the show and do different things. And, another thing is not 21 plus anymore. So I always kind of wanted to get some of the art schools around here involved, like their print departments and some of the students, and like just to kind of like be in that world. If I was like 18 studying screen printing and there was a poster show with people who did it professionally, I would geek out, and it would be a good learning experience for me. So I don't know, that's one angle we might try and explore, but
that would be amazing. I mean, you count us in for 2027 when it happens, because we had so much fun. It just was a thrill. Even if we weren't having a table there, to attend, it just was so amazing. We had, like Mike said earlier, we had some friends who we've met through music who live in the Atlanta area who came by. We didn't even know, one of them we planned, but a couple other people, I was like, I didn't even know you were going to be here. So it was just really, it was wonderful to embrace those people. We got to have
some awesome Tex-Mex afterwards for dinner. That was great.
Nice.
Some of our local friends made some recommendations.
Well, Matt, thanks for sharing what you can in the early stages of 2027. Hopefully, for our listeners, correct me if I'm wrong, but go and follow ATL_Rock Poster Show on Instagram. Did I get that right, Matt?
Yeah.
And I imagine there will be information there as it develops for 2020.
Yeah, or just the AtlantaRockPosterShow.com.
Awesome.
Perfect.
That's right. And we really are just so grateful for TRPS partnering with y'all on this and inviting us to come, for you inviting us to come.
Absolutely. It was great having you guys.
The event.
And getting to meet you guys in person too.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was so awesome. And I know that the craziness of the day, we're kind of all sitting down now looking back at what we picked up. I think that was the most fun part afterwards. Like I said, Mike and I on the drive home, I was like, so what did we get? Like, it's sort of like we like I blacked out, and I was like,
it was a blur.
We've got a stack of stuff. But we're really honored. We're really honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll be back next year.
Yeah, I'm glad, man.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Good vibes. Well, and for those listening, if you haven't checked out the original OG episode with Matt Leunig for Best of the Tour, I'd highly recommend going back and listening to that episode, learn a little bit more about Matt, his art, his practice. And thank you so much for taking the time to join us and relive the excitement of the Atlanta Rock Poster Show.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll catch you next time, everybody.
All right. Have a good
Matt,
day.
thanks so much. Have a great one.
Best of the Tour is presented by Invisible Industries. Find us at www.bestofthettour.com and on all major streaming platforms, including Spotify and Apple Music. You can also catch Erica and Mike on their other podcast, Posters in Every Direction, streaming wherever you stream your podcasts from. A big thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next time.